sisters singing sweet harmony. Now two are here, still planting good seed. Jackie and Gail, yeah, they're walking in light, sharing their stories, keeping hearts bright, talking about life and faith and real love, sending out hope from the one above. When they speak, you can feel what's true, 'cause they've lived it all, and they'll walk with you. Jackie and Gail, just love, just real. Two voices of grace that help you heal.
Welcome back to Raw, Restoring Awesome Warriors. I'm your host, Jackie H, and I have here my co-host, Gail Barron, the judge. How you doing today, sis?
I'm doing well.
You doing well?
Yeah.
Dealing with this ice and the snow?
I ain't go outside.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you want to go skate, just put your ice skate on and keep on moving, sis. Well,
No.
yeah, we staying inside. We don't got older now. We can't play these
Yeah.
games. Yeah. Well, Gil, we're in for a special treat today. I don't know if you know, but I know I'm in for a special treat. I remember this young man where he was sitting in church with his two fingers in his mouth. I don't know if he was happy or pissed by being there, but he was over there in the corner in a brown chair. You know who I'm talking about? He done grown up to be a fine young man. I'm honored to be able to speak with him today.
I know I'll probably get in trouble for it, but is his name Chicken?
He told me one time, don't call him that no more. But that's what he's known by.
I'm
But
too far away
anyway,
from him. He can't get me.
yeah. But I'm gonna read a little bit his bio, and then we're gonna bring him. He's sitting in the green room right now, waiting on us. I'm waiting on him. But his name is Neil Lister. His bio said Neil Lister is a staff software engineer with 18 years of experience building software in the tech world. He's worked across the entire software development lifecycle, creating web and mobile application with a focus on clean design, performance, and real-world usability. Neil is a Temple University graduate with a Bachelor's in Information Science and Technology. Neil was born and raised in North Philly. That background shapes his practical, straightforward approach to engineering. Build things that work, solve real problems, and he keeps it simple. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to prolong this. We're going to bring on my friend, my cousin, Neil Lister. Hey there.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I am blessed. I cannot complain.
Neil, it's been so long since I've seen you. I've seen is I don't know how many years, but where are we talking to you from? Where are you located right now?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. That's
And
your
Gail,
home?
in case you was wondering, I can still get you from here. I do come home sometime.
Why was I thinking that he lived in California? You ever lived in
I
California?
did. I did live in California for almost a decade, but my family and I we relocated here a little over 3 years ago in
Real?
20.
Oh, wow. So you're even closer. Okay. Well, you're
Yeah,
looking good. It's good to see you.
thank you.
Um, we're just gonna talk some. I do this podcast, and we try to bring on people that can give some insight to the inner city kids and people that know that where you start is not where you have to end. And there is hope of getting out and making it and being successful. And so we're proud. I'm proud of you that you did that.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk a little bit about you on A Street. So if anybody know about A Street in North Philly, what was it like coming up in the inner city for you, living on A Street? And if some people don't know, but it's in the heart of North Philadelphia, where everything that happens happened. How did you fare coming up in North Philly?
Um, I, I mean, it was all we knew, back then.
Yeah,
That was our normal, we
it was your
thought that's
norm.
how everybody lived.
Okay.
Uh, there was lots of things that I saw that, a child probably should not be exposed to. But
Okay.
thankfully for me, and I always tell people this too, whenever I have conversations about my background, is that I was blessed enough to have a village. And I think for like a decent amount of years during my childhood, most of my family, we all lived very close together, and I could see them, I could see you,
Hmm.
almost any time that I wanted to. And I'm talking about, first, second, third cousins,
Yes.
grandmom, grandpa, all of that kind of stuff. So, I was very grateful to have that because that was a big part of my upbringing in terms of just the proximity of, having that closeness of my village. And, everybody doesn't have that, especially, in a challenging neighborhood like, 8th and Lehigh.
Right. And we was all in walking distance. We can walk to each other's houses. So
Yes, we
if you
could.
ever try to
And
pull something,
often
everybody.
did. Yeah.
So if you ever try to do anything, somebody got you got caught anyway, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, I
Yeah.
was not usually that kind of child, but
You wasn't that
yes,
okay. All right. It must
not
been it must been
usually.
it must been Harry and Omar.
Look,
No, but one thing that I noticed, and you're still doing this today, you always was a close knit family. Did that come from your mom, your dad? Like how did that glue? And I seen that you had a birthday to celebrate your birthday, and you're still close. You're still doing things together. Who's responsible for that?
I can't put it on any single person. I would say that my mom, though, she, made it a point of emphasis for us, to value family and to not take each other for granted. Growing up, I have 7 siblings, so those were my first, friends. Those were my first social interactions. The people that I really got to know was my siblings,
Okay.
and then by extension, it was other family members. But just seeing that is, and getting a little bit older, I think when you reach like 20, 25, 30, and people, some of the elders, they start to, pass away, or, just getting to the point where they're no longer as accessible and their health starts to deteriorate a little bit. You just learn not to take it for granted. And so
Yes.
that's something that I'll always, sort of, it's been a principle of mine. And,
Okay.
my mom just, she was very big on that. Is, honoring your brothers and your sisters, especially, and then, other family members as well.
It's so good to see. It's so good to see. Um, let's talk a little bit about church, and then we're gonna move on. Are you still in church?
Yes, that's something that will,
Okay.
as long as I'm living, that will never change.
There you go. Some people, like, because of the way we was raised, I guess they thought it was a little tough, a little hard, but we made it.
And
God
it
is still good.
was.
Yeah, and I think it helped, that it grounded us for, for some time, So I'm still thankful for that, having that background and that upbringing, family church, and so it wasn't all bad. So I'm glad to see that you're still holding on to that and your faith. Yeah. Neil,
Absolutely.
where did you go to school at? Like what high school? I know you say you went you got Temple here for college, but what high school did you go to?
I mean, for the most part, with the exception of one year, I went to schools in North Philly my entire life. I went to Fair Hill Elementary. I don't even know if it's still there or if that's still what the name of it is.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
went to
sure
Starter
either.
Fleischer Middle School, which used to be near 13th and Spring Garden. It's no longer there. In
Okay.
high school, I went to Dobbins Vocational
Boo,
Technical. Don't
You
do
went.
that.
boo.
Don't do
Mass
that.
bomb. Mass bomb. No.
Yeah, you guys definitely were our rival. Well, not so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely was a rival of ours. You and Gratz.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gil
I
mass
heard they
bomb too.
split the schools up
I'm
though.
not match fine. I'm a Mustang.
Okay, all right then, Mustang. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
But yeah, I went to Dobbins, and that actually, it really helped to. It was completely on accident. That was not my intention, or even like one of the schools that was high on my list in terms of applying. But I had went through a whole lot my eighth grade year at junior high school, and I ended up at Dobbins. But it was a blessing in disguise because it being a vocational school is actually where I first got exposure to computer science. And
Okay.
it was the first time that I really got to learn and understand technology was at Dobbins High School.
So that's where it started from, Dobbins.
It is. It is.
Okay. All right. So what was the interest in it? Because you furthered it on, went on to college and mastered it. So what was it about it? It was something that just took your interest?
I would think I would say so. Yes. I've always like kind of liked the straightforward nature of math and science. It's not one of those things that is typically subject to interpretation. Like English or literature, things of that nature. It's you either right or you wrong, basically. And I
Okay.
liked that. And so I've always had like a sort of a logical mind. And I think once I got exposed to programming in particular, during my sophomore year of high school, is kind of when I really started to, get into that. I actually wrote a grading program for my one of my teachers
You did?
on the TI 83 plus calculator. So
Uh,
yeah, that was kind of how I got started. And I just felt like I knew what I wanted to do from a career perspective.
from eighth grade, you knew what you wanted to do already?
Well, I would
Or
say
once you got exposed in Dobbins?
yes. At Dobbins, I did probably around my sophomore year. Yes.
Okay. You got anything to ask him? I'll keep on going. Okay. I I I'm interested in knowing. I know you had a love for school, but what kept you focused? Like, did that you always been that way? Like, you know what you want to do and you just went for it, or it was?
Something like that. I
Mhm,
mean, for me, it just was. I've always been a very observant person, and I
mhm,
pay a lot of attention to details. And so, even though our neighborhood was kind of the norm, my mom, which I thank God for, her scraping the pennies together and taking us to like the Jersey Shore or wherever she could take us for vacation for a few
mhm,
days during the summertime. It just helped me to get an understanding and an idea that North Philly wasn't it, and there were other places to go, other people to see, things to
yeah,
do. Everybody didn't live, kind of in a concrete jungle the way that we did. And so I just was focused on like expanding my horizons. And then thankfully I had an older sister, Tani,
yeah,
who she was the first one of us to go to college, and she
right,
went to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore and
mhm,
graduated with 2 degrees. So
yeah,
I saw what she did, and some of the doors that it opened for her, and if nothing else, it allowed her to get away and to have some different experiences, as well as to build herself up and get an education and see that there was more to the world. And so I would say like a combination of all of those things is kind of what led to me just having somewhat of an iron focus, on my studies. And plus, I don't know, like I'm a very competitive person, and I just would not allow myself to, perform less than, I knew that I was capable of.
okay. And I know that you're competitive, so I see you with your basketball. See you with talking about the Eagles and all these games. So you very competitive. But what I want to know, are you still a Philly fan, or you done changed because you're in North Carolina? You still go for the Eagles
So
and the Sixers?
I have not changed. I will say
Okay.
that I have never ever in my life been a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And
You
so
never
once
been
they
an
started,
Eagles fan?
never, not ever.
Okay.
Even when we was at the new creation, I was never a Eagles fan.
Please don't tell me.
Vaughn
Please don't tell
Nesbitt
me you're
will
not a
tell.
cowboy though.
Oh no, definitely
Okay.
not.
What's your team?
I like the 49ers. They've been my team since the early 90s.
Okay. So what's wrong with Philly?
There's nothing wrong with Philly. I don't knock people who are Eagles fans. I mean, it makes sense, right? But for me, it's just not what, it didn't catch my eye when I first started loving football. When I
Wow.
started loving football, I loved Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders, Steve Young. Still my
Okay.
favorite quarterback. So it just kind of was the team that I stuck to.
Okay. Well, as far as basketball,
As far as
Sixers.
basketball, I like the Warriors. I don't like,
Oh my
in
God.
my time in California, helped to inspire that, when I was living there, because we used to go and watch all of the games and stuff.
Okay,
I
but
did support the
before
Sixers
you
when
went to California, was you a Sixers fan?
I was not. I was an Allen
Oh my
Iverson
God.
fan.
He's a
I do
traitor
love
here.
the Phillies though, and they're still my team.
Oh,
I remember the first baseball game I ever watched was when Mitch Williams pitched in the World Series in 1993. So I'm
okay.
loyal, like it just is not always Philly loyalty.
I get you. I get you. I see you going back and forth with everybody with your comments and
Yeah,
stuff on
they
Facebook and
try to get
everything.
me, and I try to get them too.
Yeah. Now you used to play ball, right?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I
So
still kind of do, but not like for any meaningful teams or anything like that. It just I play for the love of the game.
for the love of the game, okay. All
Hmm.
right. Gil, only the Phillies, okay? I just want you to know that. He born and raised in Philadelphia, but only the Phillies is his interest. But it's okay. It's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed to have it.
This is the
Neil,
fourth city I lived in, so
hi.
this is the fourth city I've lived in. So I can't just change up every time I move to a
Really?
new city.
So what kept you moving, your job, or just found something interesting to do?
I'm an adaptable person.
You
When
adapted.
circumstances change, I don't feel like there's any sort of glass ceilings or things like that that just preventing me from doing it. I won't say that it's an easy thing to move across the country, especially away from your family and things like that.
Okay.
But for me, like I don't know, I've always wanted to leave Philly. It's not that I don't like Philly per se, but I knew that I wanted to leave and get new experiences.
Okay.
And live in places that I feel like kind of suits my lifestyle a little bit better. Places where people are a little bit more friendly. I mean, I love my Philly people, but we're not the friendliest folks. Uh, you
Okay.
know, so
Mm.
yeah, just some changes. I'm not
Gil, that's
adverse
some,
to change.
is that something like what I can like to do too? Just move
Yes.
around and explore. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm so proud of Neil.
Man, you don't
Um,
know.
I'm proud of him. He still has the same demeanor that
Yeah.
he did.
With them two fingers in his mouth sitting in the corner.
Well,
Yeah.
let's not do
Woo.
that.
He's
Yeah.
just grown up now, but he still has that same demeanor, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So moving on, uh, we're gonna get to some more of your life here. So what's this all about, Neil?
Oh wow. I didn't. That is my lovely
This
wife.
is this is so awesome. So you met her in what city?
I met her in Philly actually. We went
Oh,
to
Philly.
Temple together. Yeah,
Really?
she went to Temple with me. And we met on a basketball court.
Never did know that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tell somebody. I'll let you tell it. Who is this star that you with? What's the name of the team she played? What basketball team what she do?
She plays for the Harlem Globetrotters. She was the
Oh my God.
first
Yes.
female player that they had, I think,
Yes.
since the 1980s. So she's a
Awesome.
trailblazer, a trendsetter, and all of the above.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, I think when I first watched TV, like we ain't had no TV right now. So when I first got a chance to see to see a basketball game, I saw the guys, the Globetrotters. There wasn't no females on there. So
Mhm.
this is a change here that, like you said, that she's a trailblazer. So it's good to see that they opened it up to let us explore too.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah,
the
she was
game.
a big part of that.
Yeah. Wow. So we moving on down the road. We got a whole. We done went from two to a whole family here.
Yeah.
Let's see about the dad, mom, the girl dad, and you got a son there. What is their name and what their ages are?
My daughter, her name is Callie, and she's 7.
7.
She's
Okay.
an angel. She really is. She's probably the most loving and compassionate person that I've ever met, and I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter.
Wow.
And the little guy, that's Kai, and
Uh,
he just turned 2 actually a few days ago.
Oh, so he's not a
On the
junior.
3rd. He isn't. Well, he wouldn't have been a junior anyway because I'm the 4th. But
Oh
no,
my
yeah,
God.
we decided to go in a different direction.
Okay.
But yeah,
No
that's
problem.
my guy. He's a little ball of energy. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's the family. Those are my
So
babies.
she's spoiled, ain't she? Right?
A little bit, but she
Uh,
deserves it. She really does. She's a
okay.
sweetheart. And
She
she's an
look
awesome scholar as well. She's really good in school.
okay. Was she taking up? What grade she in? I know she already got something planned.
She's in 2nd grade. I don't think she
Second
has
grade.
narrowed it down. I do
Yeah.
think she's very interested in sciences because she talks a
Okay.
lot about the medical field, being a doctor, or getting into astronomy or NASA. So
Wow.
she's taught me a
In
lot
second
about it.
grade?
Yeah, she knows a lot. It's amazing what kids, what information they get a hold of these days. But yeah,
Wow.
she's a little scholar. She's a brilliant, brilliant girl.
Okay. Got to get a chance to meet her one day, hopefully, when you be up here.
Yeah,
Cause this
this
is
was in Philly. All of these pictures is from
really,
when I celebrated my birthday in Philly. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta let us know when you come up. Only time I see it is on Facebook. You already here on your way back. We gotta catch you while you up here. But this the
Okay.
little guy.
Yeah, that's Kai.
Okay.
He looks serious, but he has a playful side. He has a good sense of humor too.
Okay. I'm coming down. Look at this, Gail. Ain't this something? The split image, right?
Yeah, that's the one I know with the red shirt.
I got another one here that you know too. Oh man.
Yeah, those are my babies. I couldn't deny them if I wanted to.
No, I get ready to say you spit that out. That you can't, yeah. And you know that TV show said, "And you the father?"
Yeah.
This is it.
I am the father. Yeah.
Yeah. Neil,
The best
what
title I've ever had.
I'll get ready to say, what is it? What is your greatest accomplishment? So I guess that's probably up there at the top. Besides getting your degree, is your children, or your marriage, your children.
Yeah, just the whole family structure,
Yeah.
I tell people that this is the life that I've always wanted. I've
Yeah.
always wanted a family. And I'm living the dream of sorts. God has really, really blessed me, and He's really blessed us, to have each other. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm extremely thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit just about your grandparents. What part did they play in your life? I know he's your granddad, but he's my uncle Frank, and is one of our favorites uncles. So I wanted to see how you feel about him as your grandfather and your grandmother. They was always
Hmm.
taking us places and doing things when we came up, and so I think y'all about the second generation because we was the first generation that they raised before they had kids, along with your mother Patty, and and then now there's you all. So what part did he play in your life, your grandfather and grandmom?
Um, Specifically, my grandpa. That's what we call them.
Okay.
I mean, he was instrumental. He was the my father figure. He was our father figure. He was our, the paternal leader of our family. And I've never known him to not show up for us. Anything that we needed. Uh, I mean, reflecting back on it, it's like I don't know how he had so much time to take us places and do things for us. Because it's not like any of us are well off or we just had free time or you could just roam about. But he always made time for us. And he was just very instrumental.
Hmm.
Grandma, we love to go to grandma's house. I mean, now I don't know why we call it grandma house instead of grandparents' house or whatever,
Yeah,
but I think it's
yeah.
because it made it feel like a home for us. Um,
Okay.
there, we was always fed. We never lacked for anything essential that we needed. We never lacked on her watch. Um,
Okay.
and again, she wasn't a person of tremendous, wealth or resources or anything like that. But she made do with what she had, and she loved her family. Anything that she could do for anybody in her family, she would do it. And she would do it without complaint or with regard for her own self. I mean, she was cooking us Thanksgiving dinners all the way up until, close to 80 years old till we finally retire her until, Grandma, go sit down somewhere,
Yeah.
let us, cook you a good meal and, you still get to enjoy your family. But that's what they were about. They were about family and they were about Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those was the two pillars that they lived by, and I've never known them to not treat any person, family member or not, with love and respect. And I will always remember them, for that.
Wow.
Just my
Yeah.
grandmom, she passed right before Callie was born, and the last thing that she told me was right before my daughter was born was that she loved the name that we picked out, and
Wow.
she was just a sweetheart to the very end, Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
She was.
I was.
I say she was. Yes, she was. Yeah. My first leave coming home from the Navy, she cooked the dinner. And once you tell your grandmom that you love something, she's gonna make sure you have that. So Neil, she told me to stop by before I left to go back to California. She had a package for me. So I went by there and picked up 12 pans of cornbread. Because I told her that I loved her cornbread, she was making me some and my friends. Now I got to go on a plane. I felt so bad because you can't get on there with food. So
Right, right.
I had to get the cornbread away, but that's how much she thought about whatever the love and support. She was always that person.
Yes.
But I was like, hey Carol, I can't, I didn't even know what to tell her. I didn't say nothing. I just got it and left. It's like, what's I'm gonna do? And I didn't want to throw it in the trash. So I passed it around
Right.
to different people,
Hmm.
to try to, but Uncle Frank was that support for us. Besides my dad, there's no other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
said he said something a few minutes ago was he was paternal. leader. And that's what we grew up with,
Yeah.
his leadership, and always looking out for us, our well-being. And so I don't know if you know, but you know of the property in Jersey.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Do you know how that
Yeah.
came about?
I have a somewhat of an idea, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know any particulars.
Oh, because him and my dad was two peas in a pod, and their thought pattern was because the neighborhood playgrounds were so dangerous at the time, they wanted us to have a safe place to play. So they went scouting out in Mays Landing to find a piece of land. Now, when they found this land, it was nothing but trees. And I'm telling you, with the community of men, they cut them trees down. We was able to build on that land, but it started from a thought of they wanted the children to have a safe place to play.
Wow,
So so I'm
I
I'm
never
I'm
knew that.
yeah, yeah. So when I hear you talking about how you love your family, so you can see it's been passed down, but it was
Yeah,
always for the care of us. That's how it got started, and it was those two that looked out. So you got it in you, brother.
I learned from some of the best. I
Yeah,
really have. And I remember. I mean, we just. I mean, my grandfather called them right, so that's kind of how I remember. But yeah, I remember taking trips to the land
yeah.
with him as well, and yeah, that sense of community, and I'm just thankful that I got to experience, everybody
Mm.
and get to know. Like some people don't know like beyond their siblings or their immediate family, they don't really have like a relationship with their cousins or their extended family, and I'm grateful that I was able to, and I still am, to this day to
Mhm.
even just be sitting here talking with you. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
So I'm going to ask a personal question. If it's too much, just say you don't want to get into it, because I like to give people an idea of there is someone for you, even if your natural parents is not there. So you said that your grandfather was your paternal thing. Now, is that because that your dad wasn't there, or you raised without a father, or like for some man, some young man or some young woman that's listening today, what you don't seem like you're missing anything, and it may be that you are, you just don't talk about it. But how did that come that he's the paternal? What was that like growing up? Uh, if you want to speak on it, did you have relationship with your dad, or what was that like?
I did not have a relationship with him.
Okay,
I do remember him, even
okay,
though that was like very early on in my life, when he was a part of my life. But I do remember him, but I think my grandfather would have been there regardless.
regardless. Okay,
Yeah, because in addition to him, I had my uncles. They like
yes,
I had a lot of people that took very good care of me, and I think
okay,
it took. Um, and to me, that was just normal. Like I assume like everybody knew their aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. They
yeah,
over their houses, spent time with them. But as I got older and I matured, I learned that most people don't have that. At least
yeah,
not to the extent that we did. And so it's hard for me to reflect on what I did not have, even though I
mhm,
do think that was significant and did have its own influence on my life. But it's hard for me to look at it as purely a negative thing, when, like I said, I had my village, I may have not
yeah,
had the traditional, mother and father in the household growing up, but, I had a lot of people that cared about me, loved me,
yeah, yeah.
and was willing to deal with me and my siblings because I know that was not easy.
Okay. So those of you who are listening to Neil, there is still hope. there's always hope. There is someone that would replace or fill in for whatever the need is. So it's not a, an excuse to say that I can't make it. There is someone that you can glean from, that someone will support you in whatever you do. I like to tell young people, whether you have a father in the home, whether you have a mother in the home, whether it might be your grandparents maybe raised you, it might be like aunts and uncle, or it might be a neighbor, it might be a coach, it might like Gail, she went through where
Teachers,
it
yeah.
was coaches, teachers and stuff. So there's always someone. You just keep God first, pray, and God will send someone your way. So it's you're talking to someone who's from the inner city, in the heart of the inner city. It wasn't even on the outskirts. And he's sitting here talking with us today with a degree, his sisters with a degree, and I know his family, and they're all doing well. So you don't have to turn out bad. You don't have to turn out saying that you don't have. It's hope. It's hope. And this is what I'm talking to today is hope. This is an example of
Your
success.
situation don't dictate your
You
future.
really don't.
So
Really
yeah.
don't. So, yeah. So I want my last question. What exactly do you do on your job? I know you say you computer, you do science, and so what? Tell me because I don't know nothing about computers. I'm on this computer right now. I don't know how I'm on it. So is that something you do? You fixed up the stuff that I'm on?
No, it's not.
Okay, I
So
get
the
you.
the field of information in technology is very vast. There's many moving parts, and there's lots of people that serve different roles. There's people that work on hardware. There's people that work on operating systems, core software. That's probably what you're using right now.
Okay.
I make what we call applications, right? So whether you access them on the web through like a browser like Chrome or Safari, or if unfortunately you still use Internet Explorer, or on your phone. So take, for example, something like Facebook, right? It's not just a place where you go and you can like view information. You can actually interact with it. You can, create posts of your own. People can comment, they can like, you can have videos, all kinds of things, right? And then there's a equivalent of that on your cell phone, which is the mobile version, right? Mobile app. So those are the kind of things that I create. Maybe not to the same flavor or wide-reaching scope of something like Facebook that has, I don't know, probably a billion users at
Hmm.
this point. But that's kind of like what I do
Wow.
as a software engineer.
And you've been doing this for how long?
I mean, technically speaking, I have been doing this for over 20 years. I've been doing it professionally for 18 years.
You knew this, Gail?
I didn't know what he did. I just always knew he was smart.
Neil, she said that since she was little, she always thought that she was smart.
Thank you.
You always had that appeal. She always said that. Why you said that, Gail? Like, what did he do at that age that you just kept on saying that?
Well, for me, he just even with being a child, he had an adult mind. So his comments, his different things, he didn't he wasn't a kid. He was always I very seldom you would see him smile. He was like to me a child prodigy.
Wow.
So
You
that's what
moving
I
around.
all huh?
No, you went out the pitch. I said, okay, I see you
Uh,
now.
so that's
Okay.
what I always seen him as. To his demeanor, he would get not angry, but frown upon adult stuff. But he was a kid.
Darlene talks about this incident where I don't know. He
I
was.
think I
I don't
know.
know
I
what
think I
age.
know what you're going to bring
I
up.
don't know what age he was, but she always told this story about him, about the lady that came in with the clothes on
The
that
play
wasn't
clothes.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
he
he was
always.
he was always wise beyond his years.
Okay, all right. So that's probably what you're saying about your children. They probably have your and your wife demeanor of being she in the second grade thinking about being a doctor already. So she probably
Yeah.
like Neil.
So
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
what I love about that is DNA, and maybe like because it was nobody to encourage and push us because they didn't know. But now that you got your own children, you can allow them to be them however they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I think that that's the joy that I see, and my grandson, he's like that. He's 6 years old, but he's wise beyond his years. Where I wasn't pushed, and I didn't push my children to a certain extent, but now that I got my second generation, I'm like, go for the gusto. Whatever you want to do, as long as you don't, interfere with other people, live your life, and don't, I tell his mother, don't put your fears in him because he's a creator. He does that because sometimes we as parents are not, then we are
Absolutely.
hindered a child. But I'm glad for you and for yours. You got your own kingdom that you can run it the way you want to, and I think that's a blessing.
Thank you.
So Neil, we're not going to keep you longer. I so appreciate you taking this time to talk with us. I just wanted to talk with you and share your story with others that you can make it. Is hope. Stay faithful. Stay committed. Keep God first. Keep family second, and do what you got to do to make it. So I'm proud of you, and I really mean that. Always have been, but I'm really thankful that you came on to talk with us. And Gail, if you don't have anything, I'm gonna let the young man go so he can. I'm pretty sure he just got off of work, and we done took up a whole 45 minutes to an hour of his time, and he probably tired of these old ladies right now. So, what you have anything you want to say to end this? 'Cause this has made my day.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's a it's a pleasure. And
It's a pleasure.
what's the saying? Shoot for the moon or shoot for the stars.
shoot for the moon. You,
Shoot for the
even if
moon,
you
even
miss,
if
you'll
fall.
land
Yep.
amongst the stars. Yeah.
And that's what I tell you. The skies are not the limit.
Absolutely.
Especially that you got God, you can do the impossible. So I applaud you, and I say go for it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you for having me. And I'm still the same Nil. I appreciate my family, and I don't take it for granted. The fact that we get to have this conversation, and just get to catch up and try to
Yeah.
spread a little bit of light. In a
Yeah.
world a little bit dark. At times. So
Right.
thank you, and I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Yeah,
All right. Tell the get the family I love. I know they don't even know who I
I
am, but
will.
just tell them I'm the cousin from North Philly.
I will.
Love you, sir. And we'll talk to you
All
later.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I love
right.
you too. Have a good
Love
Love
you.
evening.
You too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you going in and out your picture, Gail, but hold on for a minute. That was a pleasure to talk to him. And if you want to give anything, any words before we sign off to for hope or encouragement, whatever.
You can make it. It doesn't matter what you're going to through. If you could just hold on to it, Daddy say, if you give a little sunshine, put a little sunshine in somebody's life, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just nice to be nice. So
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of what I heard from a young person growing
Yeah.
up in a heart of North Philadelphia, but you still can make it.
Yes. And as we always say, I don't have nothing else to add because it was a pleasure. I'm going to stay on the wall of helping young people to see these kind of shows where you know that someone else made it and you can too. And as we always end by saying, love
Love
God,
God, love
love family,
family, work hard,
work hard, and be
and be
kind.
kind.
And until next time, we'll talk to you later.